aligning with Women's Day, you have to come out with what was given to you as growing up. So I said, okay, I had it and I flashed it.
Hi everyone. So now we are streaming live on YouTube, and
Hello,
here we
everyone.
have with us uh, some wonderful ladies with marvelous list of accomplishments. So may I request each of them to introduce themselves, which would be better, I guess, because the list of accomplishments is so long. People have been featured on Femina and other magazines, and newspaper articles have come. We have speech champion from Kuwait in our midst. She has won several contests like prepared speech and evaluation, etc. We have a mother of twins. In fact, her children are, I think, her son is a FIDE-rated chess player, and she works in Citibank. And then we have a social entrepreneur, a mentor par excellence who mentors underprivileged women, and she's also a speech champion to boot. Plus, we also have with us a gynecologist. That is none other than Dr. Manisha, who would be joining on camera within a short while. She's having some technical difficulties. So let me invite first Jyoti Thomas in no particular order. She's joining us from Canada. So we thought Atiti Devo Bhava. So since she's coming all the way from that time zone. So first uh, from Canada, Jyoti Thomas. Ma'am, please introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, DT Manju, soon to be Dr. Manju Manohar, for having me here. Yes, at this point, I'm logging in from Canada. I'm here right now visiting. Lovely to have the co panelists, Gayatri and Srividya. I think the toughest thing is to introduce yourself. Personally, that's what I feel. Every morning, if I wake up, there's something new. I think I say, okay, so is this what I am? So I was wondering, what is it that we always say? If you ask somebody about me, they would say that I'm a mover of a mountain. I believe in people. There are some people who will say I have a golden heart, and there's somebody else who can completely say I'm cold hearted. And I let people believe in that too. Because there are times that we have to take both places. And today being a very special day, what do? I've evolved over the years. I'm a certified NLPist gestalt. I'm a teacher, educator. I've done a whole bunch of training of trainers. Well, with my age of 21 times 3, add on one more, I feel very privileged to be here today. Every day is interesting. Yes, I work in the space of social entrepreneurship because for me, I think I saw myself and my daughter where social justice played pivotal role, and I decided it came to me naturally, and the divine was connecting dots that I kept going without stopping. Right now, that's how I call myself. Yes, I believe in coming out with something which is flagship because we always say, right, your vibe describes your tribe. And that's why I'm here. And today is yet another day to just share about the Ardhanari in us. Thank you, and over to you.
I simply loved the way she said the vibe describes the tribe. So that also is the reason why I had all these four lovely ladies with me here because of the vibe, because see, to choose people for a panel discussion, I need to be very careful. It's like a jeweler selecting the right jewels to form a necklace. So maybe there are bright diamonds out there. In fact, Women Unleash the FB group Facebook group has several legendary leaders in that group, including national award winners. But I thought for this discussion, the people whom I'm inviting, they should have a certain kind of vibe amongst them. And I know all of these people personally. So we also have Dr. Manisha here from Pune. She's, I think it is Pune only in Marathi, I guess. Yeah, but that's why it came out as Pune. And but for the others who are joining us from other parts of the country or from outside the country, it's Pune. Dr. Manisha Herd is a gynecologist, and she's having some technical issues. So she'll be unmuting herself and coming on camera soon. So until then, let's hear from Gayatri Ravindran, ma'am. your introduction.
My introduction would be, I love to say it as I say, I have said it on Facebook. I'm a mother first, teacher next, and a whole lot of other things, and the wife last.
Okay.
I always, as we women, we are born to do multiple roles.
Yeah,
And every role is an introduction for us.
indeed.
I had the fortune of being educated in the northern part of India. So my mother tongue happens to be Tamil, but my Hindi is better.
Okay, interesting.
And I was fortunate also. I've been very blessed. I grew up among the Himalayan ranges, the Dhauladhar area in the Himachal Pradesh.
Okay.
Then I was married down south. And then my career has been over the past 33 years now in the field of education. I started taking classes for pre-KG right up to MBA, MCA level. And that was for personality development, communication skills, group discussion. So as a language teacher, I am a postgraduate in English language, and one of my favorite subjects, that's geography. And in that, I've been blessed to have added trainer also along with it, followed by coach. Then I became a parenting coach, and I got multiple certifications in inclusive education, which is special education. As a teacher, we all want to add extra value to any student who comes in. I learn in one particular style, Jyoti might learn in another particular style, Srividya might learn in some other style. I need to know all the styles. And if there is some disability that doesn't allow me to learn something in a particular way, then my teacher needs to be able to teach me in the style that I can understand. So that is adding everyone to, giving them a level playing field. So I like inclusive education. I'm a consultant for that. And I've trained in curriculum 33 years in the field of education with curriculum method, that is your pedagogy, and using now AI in the class, using technology in the class, making sure that the teacher is as empowered. So that is my line of interest, and that's who I am. But my work is not me.
Okay.
That's only one part of me. I love lecturing to people. My favorite pastime is lecturing my husband. I mean, he has no choice but to listen to whatever I say, as much as the students. The only difference is the students are able to answer me. My children and my husband don't get that opportunity. They have to keep quiet as I speak. So when I finish, then they talk. So that's the second part of me. The third part of me is, as someone, I love music. I love to watch movies. I'm more into action. People think, people who grew up in the 70s and the 80s. I would love to say that I am into my 50s, late 50s. And so in the same way as Jyoti did not give away the age, so I would like to give it to you. I'm giving you a broad area. So between 51 and 60, you are free to decide where I am.
So viewers, you can start guessing, posting in the comments. I'm just kidding.
No,
Somebody's
even
pretty
so,
age doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
I think
Uh,
everyone
I
is
would
like
say
16.
the heart matters. Yeah, Dr. Manisha, are you able to come on camera? Your technical issue was resolved.
Yeah.
I am
Right.
But you,
in
we see
closing,
you.
that I just wanted to say that I love music and I like to dance. And I'm a horse rider. I am trained equestrian jumper and a trekker.
Good.
So that's a lot of things that I have done, and I've had the fortune because my father was in the armed forces. So I had that opportunity.
Okay, no
So
wonder.
it comes with it. So in that, I'm blessed, and that's who I am. I have a lot of interests. Kids are close to my heart. I love chocolates. I have 4 puppies in my house. A whole lot of things. And that's why.
So now you know why I have selected her. But you know something? It's like calling some dignitary on stage and they won't tell their biggest accomplishment. She didn't reveal that she's the district champion of public speaking. District is very difficult to crack. It's like district means it's not the district like we call in India or other countries. District may comprise of several countries in some cases, and it has almost 100 plus 100 to 150 or 160 clubs. So in those clubs, she has stood first in speech contest. Yeah, speech contest, that too in Kuwait. And of course, Jyoti ma'am too is like that. Jyoti ma'am is a district evaluation contest finalist. But again, she wouldn't tell about that. See, these people, they just reveal only parts. It's like that iceberg. They just show one side of them. There's that big part underneath the ocean, which we have had the privilege of listening to, observing, and of course, learning from them. Now we have Srividya. So we're just doing a round of introductions. So we thought let the people introduce themselves. So that would be fun. So Srividya, how would you like to introduce yourself? Of course, we know you are the mom of terror twins and all that, but other than that.
Okay, my introduction is very modest. I am a dual district member and
Okay.
I'm a member of District 125 and 120. I
Yes.
have been a club officer in both the district at one go. And I have been in Toastmaster for the past 2.5 years. And that's how I know Manju. And I work in Citibank. I'm a product owner. And I'm into banking technology. We do solutions for everyday issues. And that's all.
And this young lady here, this young lady here actually gives imaging tips. I think image consultancy kind of tips to people. Even to me, she told, okay, wear simple pendant or something like that, or wear this kind of clothes. She gives consultation all for free. Okay, so you can call her. Maybe she'll start charging. I did tell her you should start charging. You should probably have that like a kind of backup plan or maybe as a business. So that is Srividya. She is a person, again, she's being so modest. She loves chess. She plays chess against her federated son, young son, 13-year-old son, and beats her son. So now you know how good she
I
would
bet him
get.
long back, not now. Now he
Still,
beats me
you
black.
picked a federated player, no? So that's a big thing in my books. Not everyone, FIDE, right? Federated. It's very difficult. And then we have Dr. Manisha Aher. She is like the Mother Earth, very calm, very gentle, very kind, and extremely empathetic. And the thing that I like the most about her is, in addition to managing a hospital on her own, of course, her husband also helps. She's a gynecologist. So when we call her and she says, I'm in the theater, she's not watching movies, she's actually performing all those surgeries to deliver babies or do whatever with women. And then she goes home and takes care of her mother-in-law and mother-in-law's mother. Now that is a unique record, right? Taking care of two young kids plus four generations in a house. Am I right, Dr. Manisha?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so that is something, I feel I kind of admire, how does she maintain that balance and how does she looks so calm and peaceful still after, dealing with the Gen Z, right? The youngest ones and then I think the ones who are in 70s and the ones in 90s even, and still maintains this.
Baby boomers. No.
Yeah, baby boomers. So Dr. Manisha, something more about you. You have done MD in gynecology, right?
Yeah, I have done my gynecology specialization and I am into, are you all hearing me? Able to hear me?
Yes, we are
Right.
able to hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm into my clinical practice since last 24 years. I started in 2000, April 2000, after my post-graduation. And right now I am consultant and administrator at a high-risk obstetric care center, which is founded by me and my husband, along with a team of obstetricians and gynecologists. So till date, I have, in my 24 years of practice, I have given my services to many government hospitals like Corporation Hospital. Basically, I'm from a city of Nasik, which is in Maharashtra near Mumbai, at the center of Mumbai and Pune. It is a district. It's a pilgrimage city where Ram had his, Prabhu Ramachandra had his Vanvas in Panchavati, which is in Nasik. So that is the holistic background. And in my practice, actually, I developed interest, my connect with women. And I really love my work, basically connecting women, just not to give them clinical consultation, but even more. That's how I developed my interest even in counseling. So I did post-COVID. I thought that women, they needed a lot of encouragement for many things, and I started my counseling services. I did my MA clinical psychology, and I also did foundations of positive psychology from University of Pennsylvania. And also I did, because I'm a kind of spiritual person, I was interested in yoga during my school days, but I pursued this degree of yoga shikshak, yoga teacher, just 2 years back. So that's how I'm applying everything holistic health for women. That's
Wonderful.
it.
And she's also the upcoming author. She's an
Yeah.
upcoming author. She's going to write a book on
Yes, yes.
mindful pregnancy.
9 months of
9 months of
mindfulness.
mindful pregnancy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mindfulness during pregnancy.
So
So
with all
let-
Manju's guidance and continuous encouragement, I'm not able to finish my project yet, but she keeps encouraging. That's the characteristic of Manju, that she's behind. Nahi
Yeah,
karna
but-
hai, karna hai. That's so great.
because she's doing so much, right? You would have seen balancing everything. It's not easy. And anyway, we all know gynecologist life is never easy. You're sleeping in the middle of the night, you get a call, there's a delivery, you need to rush. So book is not high priority. Ensuring safe delivery and protecting the health
of mother.
health of
baby
the
and mother.
mothers, and saving the lives of moms and babies matter more than the book. So definitely it'll just happen. So shall we now get started? So now you know why we have this kind of personalities, because they are all multi-layered, multifaceted. All of them are mothers. All of them have been through real challenges. I would say they all have walked through fire, each of them. I wouldn't want to reveal what fire they have walked through. It's up to them during the course of panel discussion. If they want to reveal, yes, they can. But just believe me, trust that they have gone through their challenges where you think, life is almost ending, but they fight back. And I also want to reveal one thing. Dr. Manisha is also a singer. So she is resuming her singing this. She's participated in some super singer or some competition recently. She sent me a
Wow.
video also. So that's another. So it's like, you take care of your mother-in-law, you take care of your mother-in-law's mother, then you take care of your husband, then you take care of your 2 kids, then your career, and then you find time for writing, singing and all. That's like, I don't know, maybe God has given more than 24 hours to all these 4 ladies. That's how probably they are managing. At least that's how it seems to me. So let's listen to them, especially on the topic, are women really empowered? Because now, earlier we said education is empowerment. Then later, after education, when women, after getting educated, they were staying at home, they realized that even if you're educated, you're staying at home, you still need to beg for money. Can I have some money? Can I, I need to buy a gift for my mother. How much? Why? What? When? Where? How? All questions are asked. And then they realize maybe I need to be empowered by being employed, either in some job, or probably maybe self-employed. That also works. But my question is, if they are educated and employed, are they really empowered? Maybe we can ask Dr. Manisha first, because Dr. Manisha deals with human bodies. Women, do they have that agency to control their own reproductive system? Suppose somebody wants to maybe delay their pregnancy or maybe do some contraceptive planning, do women have that kind of decision-making power? Or are they using their decision-making power, exerting their power? Because this is a common topic which I heard from women working in MNCs. They were earning well, they were educated, they had MBAs, all those things. But when it comes to basic things concerning their life, whom to marry or when to marry, when to have a child, they did not have that decision-making power. They had to produce children when the society or somebody ordered them to.
Family.
So Manisha, what is, because you know the scene behind,
Yes.
yeah. So what do you think with education and just with education and being employed, does it mean they are empowered?
See, Manju, I have seen the trend changing from in last, say, almost 25 years.
Mm.
In my previous years of practice, I can certainly say that in my previous years of practice for initial 10 to 15 years, women were dependent on husband's decision, not only husband, but even mother-in-law, father-in-law, for even their reproductive decisions, right? Like many women, they used to say, if at all, like I'm just telling you one example of contraceptive, which is intrauterine device, copper T.
Property,
So
yeah.
if I
Very
tell
common.
some women who has delivered, and if I advise her that you should plan next pregnancy with some interval of say
Some
minimum
gap,
3 years,
gap
yeah,
between the
some
children.
gap
Yeah.
which is essential for restoring her body for the
Yes.
pregnancy.
Yeah.
But they they used to tell me, I will have to ask my mother-in-law, or I will take permission of my husband. So husband is okay because that's their mutual decision. But what is the role of mother-in-law, and how is she coming? How will she come to know that you have inserted IUCD? You can just tell and that I'm visiting doctor for some reason and get it inserted. It's just a matter of 10 minutes. And even her husband will not know that she is having IUCD. In spite of counseling them so much, many of them did not change their decision. They wanted someone else to take that decision for them. But nowadays, I am seeing the trend is quite changed because of the level of education, because of the analytical power they have. Women, they can think, rational thinking, they have a good ability to decide and to make proper decision what is good for them, for their body, and for their reproductive career. I think there is a good decision making power. And even husbands, they have changed, like they are very pro for their wives. At least nowadays I'm seeing that since last
At least in
7-10 years.
Pune, at least in Pune, it's happening. We all need
Yeah,
to
here
shift
it
to
is
Pune
happening.
now.
It's
Okay.
happening, but still few decisions like medical termination of pregnancy, which even government is allowing that only women's signature can be granted for her permission to terminate the pregnancy. So recently we had an example in our hospital that uh, women wanted termination, but husband said we will continue. That she said I want to terminate, and on those rounds, like they are permitted to decide about their body and their right to have pregnancy or not to have. They can go ahead with their decisions like that. So that is what is the scenario.
Okay.
Changing trends.
Yeah, but at least I'm happy to see that at least there's a change. Of
Yes.
course, we can see there's a change with education and
Yes, it
with
is
the
with education.
employment. But like she rightly pointed out, but even now, even though the law requires only signature from a woman, but even now there is that
Controversy.
backstage control happening. No, even if it's
Yeah.
your signature, we won't allow. So it's that they put pressure, mental pressure on that person,
Right.
and finally, yeah. Now, the question to Jyoti Thomas, ma'am. Ma'am, if a woman is earning, does it mean that she automatically controls how to invest her money? do you think, especially in the new, I mean, you mentor a lot of young women, right? So I just wanted to ask you, what kind of trend are you seeing? Are they able to make decisions, or are they even having that kind of education about what are the investment avenues, etc.?
Well, that second part sounds very interesting. And for the first one, I'm going to say yes and no.
Okay.
The topic very clearly says, does education mean
Yeah.
empowerment? I like to take away the word empowerment and use here as,
Yeah.
do we inspire ourselves? Are we
Okay.
advancing?
Yeah.
When that comes, I would still go with only 50-50. It's very,
Okay.
very nice to hear what Dr. Manisha was just sharing, to say
Yeah.
a woman can take a call on her own body.
Yes.
The issue comes only when we go beyond a threshold of, fighting for certain things, rather, talk or get things done. Now, for the question that you asked me, really, women do not, they may earn, but I don't think they still exercise the freedom given to invest or do whatever, because I think culturally it's so embedded into our system, and then it's like carried forward. It's like intergenerational curse going down to my daughter, her daughter, where we're saying that no, let's ask somebody before we invest. But yes, the freedom is there with the youth. Interestingly, what I must also add, I'm using interestingly twice because I look at it and saying, well, I think at 64, I had a lot of education then versus now. Today, the unorganized sector women know much more than the so-called qualified, educated women.
Yes,
I
actually,
have
that
met
has been my
people.
experience as yeah.
It is amazing. It can be
Yeah.
a legal camp. It can be a financial literacy, which very interestingly, I work with an organization called the FICCI Flow. I'm part of the Chennai chapter. And there's a
FICCI, right?
FICCI is the
Yeah.
Federation of Indian Industries and Chamber of Commerce. That
Yeah.
particular thing is today is going to be headed by somebody who's the youngest, called Divya Sukumar. And she's part of, she's a chartered accountant. She's a lawyer. She's the youngest. She's running around just giving programs on financial literacy.
Wonderful.
It's amazing to see. It's the same for the educated and the not traditionally educated.
Yeah.
I find the youth who are coming from more a suppressed or maybe a challenged environment background, who looks at, I want to be that. In order to do that, I have to go this way. I'll save it. Whereas I've seen with the youth, I call it the plastic culture, who just get into an IT job. I'm going to use that because I see a lot of people there. The minute that 20,000 rupees come, I was about to say dollars, and I said, whoop, no, 20,000 rupees comes in their hand. Within 2 months, they have a new mobile, they have a new something. And I'm wondering, like, what in the world are they doing? Like, do they even understand? Have they been able to pay back? No, I think culturally that's a mistake that's happening. Is it completely wrong? No. People have their own choices. From my humble point of view, the one thing that everybody needs to have is understanding that you stand on your feet, be it man or woman, because I always say, don't say only women need it. The other genders also need it, because if we don't progress together, they will make sure the other stays where they are, because everybody is very scared of letting somebody else grow. As long as you don't know, everybody is happy because you will stay where you are. So the answer for what you asked is really not. I would also probably say, when I invest, a situation came where I had to take the call because my husband is sitting up there and watching me from above. And I would think like, oh my God, he was doing everything. And I was considered to be very independent. But the definition of independence is very different for each one of us here. I'm not independent in a place where I have to be, and I'm independent in so many other ways, which I feel I'm truly inspiring to others. But I think we have to take it one day at a time and one thing at a time, because like when Gayatri and Manisha, Srividya and you were talking, I'm only looking at Mahadurga, right? We can do like literally everything. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. When Dr. Manisha was talking, I said, oh, you're from Nasik. I should talk to the people there. We women have a resilience. We will pick up fast. We know when a challenge comes, that's when women are like tea bags. The hot water that we are dipped into, hotter the water, more the flavor and the color. We
Tea.
come out with the resilience and the best of it, right? And it is in challenging times that I'll see I would have made the best investment ever, which I would never have done. And that would have been a time when I always say, they said I can't, and I proved them wrong. I did because they said I can't. I think that is what I would like to say. So, definitely, are we educated enough in terms of taking our own financial calls? No, not as desired. Or even if they take a data, I don't think a if you look at it in terms of has it been put down, are there enough statistics to prove that? I would still say we will still fall short. I would
Yeah.
still go by the unorganized sector who goes way beyond, and I love them for that. The questions they can ask somebody who comes to talk to them, be it social welfare board or anybody. If a lawyer is there, they know exactly where to go for if there's any abuse at home, what to do. But you would find the privileged
Yeah, I
think
think she,
by
you
first.
know, Jyoti, sorry to interrupt, but she brought up a very relevant point. It's like, see, when there is an abuse at home, how many of the so-called educated, let's take an MBA from Harvard or maybe an IAS officer, because I've read reports where IAS officer herself was being abused at home. She was a victim of domestic violence at home. But the IAS officer who has the entire cities or maybe the district's police at her command, she did not exert that power or give a call to the police, because if she had called I think the police commissioner would have come rushing to her house. But she endured in silence. This came in a leading newspaper, the Hindu, or I think I remember it as the Hindu, and she endured in silence for 10 years because the perpetrator was her own husband, who himself was a civil services officer. She did it to ensure there's no divorce because she had 2 children. After 10 years, she finally woke up and did. But when Jyoti ma'am said the unorganized sector, when you're speaking about the maids or the people working as construction workers, right? Now, these people, I've seen some of them, they know their rights. They say, if you hit me, I'll go to the police. I'll go to all women's station. They know their stuff. Maybe they are not educated. They don't have the MBAs or MBBS or maybe the MAs or MComs and all those. But they know what to do if somebody hits them. And I see such women, they also make some decisions, right? When they start earning, they say, I'm going to put my money in post office. Maybe the decision may not be that right. Maybe mutual funds would be better. But with her limited education, she's still putting in RD in post office or something. And plus, she also knows if somebody hits me, I'll go to the panchayat president or the counselor. So I see them, they are brave and they know to take remedial actions when things go wrong. But the so-called educated, empowered, employed, earning lakhs kind of women, when they are hit in the face or punched in the bellies. I had a case where an MNC woman, she was 6 months pregnant and she was punched in her stomach and she happened to miscarry the baby. She was bleeding profusely. She did not go to the police. She took a cab to the nearest hospital. It's only when her father came from another city that he filed a complaint. She did not think of it. But when I see a maid getting punched or something, first thing she'll cry and make a scene, and others would gather. It's like the crows, one dies and the others gather and they'll say, oh, let's go to the police and all that. But here, I feel the more educated they are kind of wearing a mask that everything is fine. You want to have that perfect Facebook status, perfect Instagram photo with your family and all that. They try to pretend things are good at home. So I just want to touch upon, of course, it's
But
a
that's
very,
interesting. Without interrupting, what I'll say
yeah.
is, sometimes why are we talking about all this only on Women's Day, especially?
Yeah. No, we
Because,
will talk.
but
Actually,
my point, yeah,
we have a
the
person
point
called
is,
Gunjan. We have a person called Gunjita. She's like a person working with UN Women. So in this forum, the Women Unleashed, I plan to bring her one day, and she has promised to give us some time. She will speak about domestic abuse and other things, what people can do, because she's under the United Nations. Now let's go to Sri Vidya.
now quickly let me close it off by saying all that you said. It is also to say there is this
Sorry.
Zen in a woman, and the other side, as I said, the Ardhanari. We are nice. We're nice people. Women are one of the chosen species, be it the other gender also. I think we are nice. That's why we think 10 times before we forge ahead, or we think like, before I say no, I'll quickly go and complain. So I would like to
Wonderful,
close.
ma'am. Wonderful. Now, Srividya, what do you think of this? Especially, the pressure on women to marry or be judged by the number of children you produce, or even that insane pressure when a woman is earning well, they still look down upon her. Oh, you're not married. Oh, you're single. You're divorced. I mean, I know you're happily married. You are a mother of twins, but what is your perspective? Because we have had some discussions where you said a woman should not be defined by her ability to get married or produce children. A woman is a woman with dreams and aspirations and goals of her own, even without being a mother, even without being a wife. Shouldn't she have that right? Shouldn't she be free to dream and pursue her career in peace? So, what are your thoughts on that, Srividya?
So I'm in a mood to play devil's advocate. So let me play the devil's advocate.
Okay.
What exactly is empowerment? Now, if I really are thinking about the term, it clearly says that granting power, right, or authority to perform various acts or duties. Correct. So that is supposed to be empowerment. So when we are talking about women and the rights, Manju is slightly cynical about India and how we don't have, the rights. We don't exercise. But let me just take the capture to Ireland. I think Dr. Manisha may be knowing about. There is a poignant case of I'm so sorry, Savita Halappanavar. So she was a person who was in Ireland, and she was a doctor herself. Her fetus was not viable, and she
Okay.
died of sepsis because at that particular point in time, the court refused the abortion.
Oh,
It's a Catholic country. You're not allowed to abort.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
if this is the case, then we are calling upon empowerment because the court is against it. There is no law. And after
Mm,
a public outcry,
mm,
the law was passed. And then, based on medical ground, a
mm,
board certified doctor can basically ask a person to go ahead with the abortion.
mm,
So now I am giving this Lamba Chowda story to differentiate between empowerment and non empowerment. In
mm,
our case, we have laws and legislations which say that a woman can basically exercise her right. But
mm.
we are not doing it because of cultural constraints, and then we are being, Charlo, four people are saying different things about me, and I. So tell me something: is this empowerment or is this your strength that you should draw on, put your foot down, and say no? And
Yeah,
what exactly is going to happen? So let us really differentiate between empowerment and you not, I don't want to use this kind of term, but not growing a spine. What exactly is going to happen? See, you are earning 2.5 lakh rupee, correct? For example, I'm saying you're not able to fight, you're not able to persuasively influence, you're not able to step out.
yeah.
So tell me something, is this empowerment or is it a strength that we should draw on ourselves? So I think more than anything now, we have to differentiate between fact and a feeling. So we can't say women are suppressed. Why are you suppressing yourself is my question. If there is no
Yes.
law, then we have to blame, right?
Yes.
Law is not there. Same goes for universal suffrage. See, today we have come a long way. That's why I'm saying I'm playing the devil's advocate. There was a time when we didn't have a universal suffrage.
Mm.
So
Voting
United
rights.
that is
Voting rights.
you don't have any voting rights, right?
Yeah.
In 1920, United States passed the right for women to vote. In 1872, there was a woman called Susan, right, and she basically voting in New York. That's all she did. She was arrested. She was saying she illegally voted. You're not allowed. That is the case. There is no empowerment. You don't have right to vote. Today in India, if I say that I'm really lazy, I don't want to go because I have to cook in my house. So
Yeah.
is this empowerment or is it laziness? See, these are the questions that we are supposed to ask, and we have come a really long way. So I feel that when you are empowered, when you are given the right, when you are given the power, what do you do to exercise that right? What do you do to bring that inner power in you to basically seek power? Right? And
Wonderful.
when you're talking about reproductive right, I just want to conclude with this particular point. In South Korea, we all know that the fertility ratio, female fertility ratio, basically should not fall below 2. So we are marrying a guy, and two of us should bring 2 into the world, so that at least barabar, we have that kind of but now in South Korea,
Population
it's like
replacement
0.8.
happens. Yeah.
Correct.
Maybe.
Population
Yeah.
replacement. Now
Yeah.
in South Korea, it is 0.8, meaning it's a death cross at times. That is, the death is more than the birth. So what's
Yeah.
happening is all the primary schools are being closed off
Okay.
because the childcare is very expensive. It's a patriarchal society. So these are the implications that we are talking about. So in that particular case, there is an empowerment issue which comes in, because of which we have 30% of women not even willing to marry. Right.
Okay.
So compared to all these things, I think India is faring slightly better.
Yeah, India definitely is faring better. But like she said there is a point, and what Jyoti ma'am said also, see the unorganized sector, the so-called, we say, they're not so educated. Because I had a maid, she was, I think she had studied up to 4th or 5th standard. She knew all the laws pertaining to domestic abuse because she had been a victim. She had gone to the police station and she says, I know that there are some laws. I said, how do you know all this? I said, I asked people, learned people like lawyers and learned from them. So the thing is, she knew. And the thing is, when her husband was hitting her, she was very patient for almost 20 years. But after that, she did call the police and then she took action. Now, the issue is that IAS woman, in contrast, did not take action for 10 years. So that is what worries me. You understand? We are teaching the children to get educated, get a job. Even men, this applies for men also. This is not just women, this is also for men. If you are getting hit by your wife, you should lodge a complaint or you should take action. You should go for counseling. You should seek some redressal, right? You should not just be, okay, she's hitting. Because I know of guys who are getting hit by their wives also. So even though it's a Women's Day, we must be fair to all. And financial education wise, I think if mothers get educated, right, women get educated, what will happen is automatically what we have seen is if mother knows about vitamins, children know about vitamins, both men and women, they start learning about vitamins. If mother knows driving, both gender, I mean, all the genders, the children, they actually learn. So what we think is if we have mothers getting educated financial literacy wise, they will teach both, they will teach their children to do it. So Gayatri ma'am, what are your thoughts on how to kind of make the women come out of their shell, assert their rights? I'm not saying to be aggressive. I'm not saying launch your Kali Roop or anything like that. People say there's a Parvati Roop and there's a Kali. I'm not getting into that. I'm just saying, just be assertive in a very calm and gentle manner. You can say, sorry, this is not okay with me. It may be okay with you, but it's not okay with me. I need to do it. I need that contraceptive, or I need to invest money in these. I'm not okay with stocks. I want to invest in mutual funds. She should have that kind of decision-making power. And all women call for action Please learn about financial literacy, NSE site, National Stock Exchange, and others. There are several other places where you can get online courses. There are certification exams for a pittance, just 1,000, 2,000 rupees. You get these exams. So please do learn about these and start exercising this. So, ma'am, what are your thoughts? If we educate the women about financial literacy and of course about their legal rights, do you think they will start exerting the same? Or what else should we do?
It's a very interesting thought. While it's wonderful that we are empowering women, we are considering that they train themselves, they educate themselves in financial literacy. The fact of the matter is that while the women are being empowered on the one hand, the family as a whole, the unit as a whole, is not getting educated to accommodate to these empowerments. Here it's not a moving from one track to another, but this is a parallel thought, because we are talking about empowering women, but we are not educating men, our boys, our sons, to accept these empowered women and go along with them and see that the whole family benefits or society and community benefits. We're not doing that. So while we are talking about one side of the story, the other side is still missing. Those missing pieces, unless they are filled, we will never be able to reach the kind of situation that we want to. A woman can be given financial literacy until the cows come home. But if her husband is not going to accept the fact that to say pata hai, she knows what she's talking about, or when she suggests that I want to probably, let's say, let me go in for a life insurance scheme. I'm just giving an example, just a random thought. There are men who say, koi zarurat nahi, there is no requirement, there is no need.
Yeah.
Why do you want to spend money on that?
Yeah.
That money you can give here, you can do this, you can do that. I have a sister, I have this. 1,001 things will come up. So unless the men, the boys, the sons in the house, unless they are equally educated to accept this kind of an empowered thought, financial literacy will never come to fruition. It will never become a reality in the way we are looking at it. Because while we say a woman, when a man is educated, well, a generation is educated. But when a woman is educated, her entire family, her community, the whole society gets educated. But if the man is not willing to accept this change, then what we want is not likely to happen. It is good that women be educated in financial literacy. This is just one aspect of it. Their own safety, physical safety, their mental safety. When we talk of physical safety, automatically the one thing that comes to mind is domestic violence. That still, if women are not able to take action against somebody who is a partner in life, continue with it. There is no difference between an IS and an unorganized sector. Two different women in a similar scenario. One is able to take action, the other one is not able to take action because of societal pressures.
Sure, yeah. And also
So
there's
unless
the other
society
side.
as a whole changes, it's very
Yeah.
difficult. It's very,
There's
very
the
difficult.
other, ma'am, there's the other side. The more educated the woman is, because in that article it was the more educated the woman is, the more powerful she is, the more money she earns. If she files a case, they will call her arrogant, proud, all those
Everything.
words.
A
And
long
then
list of things.
yeah, and then they'll say it's her ego which broke the marriage. So because
Yes.
of which that lady, the poor lady, the IS officer, she was like, I don't want to be called a home. It would eventually result in a divorce. She knew that. So she was trying to, for the sake of her children. So what I'm saying is, for the sake of your children, there's a limit to which you should bear any kind of stuff. And first of all, first time when the violence happens itself, I think we should tell a no and then maybe even walk out. But the problem here is the parents. When you go back to the parents will say, why did you come home? Go beta, go and adjust. Now there is a movie, recent movie, Thappad. One slap from a husband,
One
she
slap.
walks back, and the entire society tries to tell her, though that's a. Actually, I'm not saying we should go for divorce at that stage, but definitely a counseling was really needed. both the parties needed counseling, the man as well as the woman, because an eye for an eye will make the whole world go blind. So if someone hits you, yeah, I know karate, let me also hit him back. I mean, both may be dead. At the end of the day, the children may lose both the parents. Maybe they should go to the psychologists or psychiatrists and take some help. But the vital point that ma'am raised is that there's no difference between IAS officer or an maybe a maid servant if you do not know to protect your own life. So till what level should you adjust? And also the question that we are asked often, are women just vessels to bear children? I mean, if you decide not to marry, because some of my relatives, they decided not to marry or not to have children, they are being accused, you're being selfish, you're proud, and that's their choice, right? I decided to have a child, that's my choice. Srividya had twins, Manisha ma'am has two, Jyoti ma'am has one, and Gayatri ma'am, you two have one.
I have two daughters and a
Three.
son.
So that's her choice. That's her choice. Now, if a person says, no, I don't want to have a child, that is also their choice, right? Or they may be having some medical issues due to which. So we should not be shaming. Like we say, we should not do fat shaming. We should not be shaming people just because they cannot get married, or they don't want to get married, or they don't want to bear a child, etc. So society has to evolve. I think a long way to go. It was a very interesting discussion. And I think we should have some part 2 of this sometime later, because in the interest of time, I'm sorry to cut it short. I don't feel like going home and, having dinner even. I just feel like being on the show. But since we promised that it'll be a short and sweet panel discussion, we'll end the discussion now with a rapid fire. Okay, one word answer only allowed. Okay. Jyoti ma'am, your favorite color? Your favorite color?
Unmute, please.
Black.
Favorite black. Your favorite coat?
I was thinking of my favorite quote.
Yeah.
Lift as you rise.
Lift as you rise. Now, Srividya, your favorite quote?
Every challenge introduces you to yourself.
Wonderful. And your favorite book? Because I know you read a lot of books.
It's a Tamil book called Ponniyin Selvan. And in English, I have a lot of favorite. One of the ones I'm reading it's called 40 Rules of Love. And also I love Alchemist by Paulo Coelho.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, Gayatri ma'am, what is your favorite quote?
My favorite quote is 3 words. Not if, when.
Not if, when. Very good. Yeah. And ma'am, if you were to say, are you empowered right now? Can you call yourself
On a
empowered?
scale of
Yes,
1 to 10, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would like
Yeah.
to think of myself. I would like to think that I am at 7, but
Way to go.
probably I am not. I have to be very realistic about it. I'm
Okay.
not.
Okay. Now let's go to Dr. Manisha. Dr. Manisha, your favorite quote? No, ma'am, you're on mute. You're on mute. Yeah. Your
So we are
favorite?
lifelong learners. We are lifelong learners. Every experience is teaching us, and we are learning from everything to, to explore the life.
Wonderful. Ma'am, one line, one song that you would want to sing, one line, 1 or 2 lines, if you can sing for women. Maybe men and women both. It's like, some inspiring words.
आ चल के तुझे मैं लेके चलूं एक ऐसे गगन के तले जहाँ गम भी न हो आंसू भी न हो बस प्यार ही प्यार बने एक
Wonderful.
ऐसे गगन के तले.
She's singing so well. She has a very
Beautiful,
beautiful
huh?
voice.
She has a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
You can
Maybe we
I
can
don't know
close.
musically
how to
bring
understand.
every child out.
Yeah.
Dr. Manisha, you're truly the one for Women's Day, because Every woman comes alive with your touch, and I think you musically bring the child out too. God
Yeah,
bless
it's like she's
So I'll
singing.
take Dr. Manisha's number from Manju, and I'm going to listen to the rest of the song. So that's what I'm doing.
So thank you so much. And what a beautiful message for those who do not understand Hindi. What she sang is that let me take you all to a place
The heaven.
under the sky
Yeah.
Asman
where
Ki.
only love and love and love exists. And she didn't
Yeah.
say for women, it's for all genders,
Yes.
so LGBTQIA plus, etc. It's like love and love exists because we are all one, right? We are human beings. So we should
Yeah.
not be actually hitting each other. We should be striving, working towards working towards improving this world, and of course maybe uniting against the aliens. I believe in aliens, so it's like we should all work towards empowering each other, not just women, empowering each other, improving financial literacy, and of course when to say no. When some people, even the loved ones, there is a psychologist, Dr. Shalini, she told me once, even if it's your own mother, if they cross the line, you should be able to set the boundaries. No, this is not fine by me. Because in India, many things, mothers and fathers, no, they'll use emotional blackmail. Please do it, please do it. For my sake, get married. For my sake, produce 2 children. All these dramas happen in India. And that's not that women alone, it happens to men also, unfortunately.
Correct.
They say you
Yeah.
do this, you do that, you take up a job here, you leave your job there, come back to this city, this place. All this drama happens. So she told that a ship does not sink because it is surrounded by an ocean. It sinks because it lets in water. So what kind of water you want to let inside your ship, that's up to you. And when under attack, no, ensure that nothing comes in. Even if it's your mother putting pressure on you, have the guts to say, no, this is not fine by me. You don't have to shout. You can just say, no, ma, I can't do it. No, ma, I can't do it. No, ma, I can't do it. No, amma, I can't do it. Maybe you need to by heart it in your local language and keep it. And you have this. I love you. Actually, I do it with my son sometimes. I say, I love you so much, but I can't do this for you. I love you so much, but I can't do this for you. This is not okay with me. In a smiling, gentle, caring manner, because we are women. We are known to be smiling, caring, and we don't have to punch and tell that line. But the more you
My
start
son will
setting boundaries,
punch me.
your son will punch you back because he's I think, martial art expert, I guess, right? Yeah, yeah. So we don't want to get into that. We can use set boundaries and then, dream of a world where Dr. Manisha will take us to that place, heavenly place where only love and love exists. With that beautiful message, we end this session. Maybe if you like this session, please put in the comments. We'll bring these lovely ladies back again for another round of discussion some other time. And in between, we may have that, I told no, that UN woman lady, she may come and give a session on the child abuse and domestic abuse and all that, because she has all the data, statistics, she knows all the laws, and she's also the national head for prevention of domestic abuse for women. So thank you so much. And with this, we end the show. Thank you for being on Women Unleashed Facebook groups panel discussion for Women's Day, hosted by yours truly, Manju K. Manohar, coach and founder of Win with Manju. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, Manju. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Bye-bye.
Srividya, you
Wonderful.
can definitely take number, no issues.
Yes, we will